Hello and welcome to my channel. I don't want to waste much of your time. As you know, I'm a straightforward person. I'm someone who likes to go straight into the job of the day. So, into the business of the day. So, for today, I'm going to show you how I made this wonderful pattern ranking type Afro beat. Yes, let's go into this right away. So, first of all, our BPM goes with 98. That's 98. That's our tempo. Some people call it tempo, some people call it BPM, whatever you call it. This is it, 98. And first of all, before I actually did this beat, I actually used a MIDI file to do this beat, a MIDI chord progression to do this beat. So I actually started with that first before I had much of what I wanted to do with the whole how I wanted the whole song, the whole beat to sound like, to look like, whatever the imagination was. I had to start with this first, so let's go with this. So while I'm showing you how I made the beat, I'll be showing you the instruments I used, how I mixed it. In the process of showing you each of the instrument, I will show you how I mixed each of the instrument to make it sound great, like all the top industry producers do. So let's go into this right away. So first of all, I use morphine, and on morphine I use the STR Hub NUC. It's under morphine. So let's go into this. You can look at the pattern. This is the pattern. You can look at how I do it. Maybe you could copy or so, for those who want to copy this bit. This is it. Yes. And what I did with it, I actually used a fruity stereo sharper for this, and I used a preset. This is the preset, the Stereorize 2, to expand, to give it that wide sound. So the next thing I actually did was after I did this, I actually got this. Then I decided to use I decided to go into drumming straight. And for the first thing I did with the drum was the rim. So let's go into the rim. This is the rim. I actually used, forget about this. I actually used two rims. These are the two rims I used. Sorry, these are the two rims I used. As you can see, I double it in some of the places, and some of the places it's single, to give it a unique sound. This is it. And then after I did this, the next thing I did was my kick. For the kick, this is the kick. Okay, sorry. For our kick, this is the kick. Yes, that's our kick. So when I actually started with the drums, something came to my mind, and I was like, the drums was the kind of pattern of the drums was too straight, so I had to swing a bit. And when I swing it to 28, like, okay, let me play just this. So without the swing, with the swing, yeah, it's kind of coming and going and coming. It's kind of, giving it that much Afro vibe, So the next thing I did was my conga. And for the conga, this was what I did with the conga. I had to follow the melody here. as you can hear it. Yeah, so this was what I did with it. And for something else, I used a combo pack. So let me play it with the drums so y'all could get it. Yeah, that's it. So one of the things I did was I had to go into there's this timbal sound I had to use. So let's go with the timbal sound. This was the pattern I used for the timbal sound. So let me play it with the drums all together so you could get it. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Dope, right? So, another thing I did was to get my shaker right. So I didn't use I decided not to use a loop for the shakers. I decided to create my own shakers. And for the shakers, this was what I did. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. I'd created a shaker. I'm trying to find the shaker. Sorry, kind of confused. Okay, this was my shaker. This is my shaker. The first shaker, I used two shakers. Actually, used two shakers. This is one of the shakers, so I had to pan it to the left, the right. Sorry, I pan it to the right, and this is the whatever. As you could see, I had to play with the velocity to give it that you know, the human feel. So the next thing I did was I had to add another shaker. Okay, so this is the other shaker. I used this this sample, and for the sample, let's go into it. This is it. This is the sample. So when I used this sample, I thought of adding something else to give it more, you know, vibe. So I used this. It's actually a metal pack. This is the sound. As you can see, I played with the velocity, you know, to give it that human sound, that touch feel. Yeah. And so I was done with the drumming. Immediately I did this few things. I was done with the drumming, except for the clap that introduces every part of the beat. Yeah, that's it. So, let's play just the drums. Let's play just the drumming so y'all can get it. That's what I said. We are going to be taking this video step by step. Let's. Okay, so the next thing I did after I finished with the drums, I had to go into much of the instrumentation, much of the sound, much of the vibe for the beat. So I did something with my purity. and the purity. I used on the bell and peg. I used a pretty bell. On a very high octave. So for that, then I decided to go into bass. I used the 3X, the 3X OSC in FL Studio. Yes, that's it. So the next thing I did, I had to use more stuff to make the beat, more dope. So I used expand, and then expand. I used the soft lit, the thin wet wine. So in that, I had to add the reverb, and under the reverb, I used preset. I used the large hall preset, and then I had to ensure that I had to play with some of the knobs here to get a good sound. And this is what the sound like. That's it. So then I decided to give it more of the more vibe, and then I did something like this. I used 808 for this beat too. I love 808 in Afro beats and whatever it is. And on the 808, I decided to use the Artvox, to compress it, to give it that, to make it hit, Yeah. So that's it. And I think the final thing I did, not the final thing I did, actually, not the final thing actually. One of the things I did towards the ending, I think was I used the expand. I used expand. I used the brass wind, and the brass wind, the first option at the top. I used the 3 trumpets crescendo. Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce it well, but that's it. And this was how I played with it. So I used the Fruity Stereo Sharper, and under the Fruity Stereo Sharper, I used the preset. I used the delay to give it that left and right, a bit of delay. Sorry for that. A bit of delay, to get everything done properly. So I used this equalizer, this semi equalizer here in Fruity Loops on our mixer channel. This is how I played with it. I had to bring down this, listen to the default sound. But I said no, I wanted it to sound a bit sharp. Yeah. So that's it. So one of the things I did, I think, towards the ending of this of making these beats totally, was my rolls, was my drum rolls. And for my drum rolls, yeah, I just found it. I did something like this. This was what I did. Yeah, dope. And then there is another drum roll somewhere, I think. Let me see. I'm trying to find it. Okay, this drum roll is a drum roll from Sabah samples, I think. Okay, it's from Jep. Yeah, it's from Jep. Yeah, dope, right? And then the final thing I did, the last thing I did was I used arcade for this. Let's play arcade. Arcade. This is arcade. Wow. I love using arcade because it has a unique sound. I used arcade one, the temple. That was the preset I used. This is how I did it. And for Arcade 2, I used Arcade 2 for this, but I had to, because of CPU storage, I had to export it to audio. But this is also, I use Arcade for this too. Yeah, that's it. That's it. So I think that's all for the beat. So I'm gonna play the whole beat so y'all can get it. I'm gonna play the whole beat. Yeah. Okay. Let's start from the beginning. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop your comments below. I'll be dropping a lot of content, how to make beats, how to mix your beat, how to master your beat. And finally, for the whole beat, this was what I did for the whole beat. I used Ozone 9. And in Ozone 9, I used, I used the master assistant that it mastered the whole beat. So I had no stress mastering the whole beat. So this is the whole beat. Let's play it.